Howdy, my name is Travis Chestnut, and today I'm going to walk you through how artificial intelligence is transforming baseball, specifically through a technology called TrackMan. TrackMan is something I've used almost every day throughout my college baseball career, and it's honestly changed the way I train, practice, and even understand my own swing. In this presentation, I'm going to break down what TrackMan actually is, how the AI inside it works, and how it impacts both players and coaches. I'll also talk about how baseball's culture has shifted because of the technology and why the human element still matters, even with all the advanced data. By the end, you'll see how AI isn't just a tech, but it's something that's shaping the game in a real time. The main goal of this RLO is to help you understand how TrackMan uses AI and radar technology to analyze baseball performance. By the end of this presentation, you should be able to clearly explain what TrackMan measures, why the information is valuable, and how athletes can use this information to actually improve their skills. This presentation focuses on one single learning objective: understanding the connection between AI and sports performance, specifically hitting. TrackMan is the perfect example because it takes a movement that happens in just a fraction of a second and breaks it down into numbers and visuals that make sense to everyone. Everything in this presentation, the images, the video clips, the background information, is all designed to support that one objective. So as we go through the slides, try to think about how the technology and the data connect directly to decision making, skill development, and performance on the field. Artificial intelligence, or AI, is basically a computer's ability to learn from data and make decisions or predictions based on what it's learned. What makes AI important in sports is that athletes produce huge amounts of data every time they move, whether it's swinging a bat, sprinting, throwing, or reacting to a pitch. In the past, coaches relied mostly on experience, instincts, and observation, but the human eye can only process so much, especially when things happen at high speeds, like a baseball traveling 95 miles per hour. AI takes in thousands of data points instantly and turns them into measurable, visual information. AI is used in all kinds of sports now. Basketball uses AI to track shot selection and defensive movements. Football uses it to analyze player workload and prevent injuries. Soccer uses it to study spacing and passing patterns. But in baseball, AI may be the biggest impact because baseball is a sport built on numbers. AI doesn't just help players understand what happened, it explains why it happened and how to improve. And that's where TrackMan comes in. Baseball has gone through a major technological shift over the last decade. Before AI systems like TrackMan, hitters and coaches had very limited ways to measure a swing. You could watch a video or rely on feel or maybe measure distance manually, but it was mostly guesswork. When I was in junior college, that's exactly how I trained. I relied on how a swing felt or how the ball sounded coming off the bat. Occasionally, we would use videos to try to see things. The feedback was subjective, meaning every coach might see something different. The introduction of AI and radar systems completely changed the method of training. Instead of relying on feel, players now train using data-driven feedback. TrackMan measures the launch angle of every swing, the exact exit velocity, how far the ball would have traveled, and the shape and direction of the ball flight. This technological change doesn't just give more information, it makes the game more precise. It allows players to break down complex movements into simple, measurable metrics, and it speeds up development because you can make adjustments immediately instead of waiting days or weeks to realize something wasn't working. This evolution from field-based coaching to AI-powered analytics is one of the biggest shifts baseball has ever seen. TrackMan is basically radar plus artificial intelligence working together. The radar tracks the baseball like military radar tracks objects. It measures the speed, the angle, height, the distance, direction, the whole thing. The AI then takes all that raw radar data and turns it into something we can understand. It consistently learns from every swing and every ball flight. It's able to recognize certain patterns, such as this launch angle means a line drive. This exit velocity with this launch angle equals a home run. This swing path usually produces ground balls. The more it sees, the better it's able to predict. I'm going to play a quick TrackMan video so you can visually see how it works in real time.
TrackMan. TrackMan is a ball tracking technology that utilizes 3D radar to track the location and movement of pitches and batted balls. TrackMan offers two separate units, a stadium unit and a portable unit. Stadium units were first installed in MLB ballparks in the early 2010s. Portable units were introduced more recently as a way to provide TrackMan data as a cost-effective and portable option. These units do not collect as much data that stadium units can. However, the portable unit can be moved around for any setting, making it a great in-practice type situation. TrackMan derives movement metrics by using the Doppler radar technology to track a ball over the entire trajectory of its path from release point through the end of any given play. From this, TrackMan can directly measure ball movement characteristics. This method of ball tracking is inverse to technologies like Rapsodo, which uses images of the ball captured over a specific distance to predict the total trajectory.
I know here at Texas A&M, we have several different TrackMan units. We have the portable ones and the stationary ones, and we use them every single day in all areas of our sport. All right, this clip is from our cages at Texas A&M. I take a swing first, then immediately walk over to check the TrackMan numbers. I use it a lot, especially to see if I swung at a ball or a strike, because knowing the strike zone is a huge part of my game. As you can see, it was a decent swing, however there were a few flaws in it. So being able to look at the TrackMan to see exactly what I did wrong or what the inputs were really helps me get to my next pitch to make it even better. This is where AI and athlete connect. TrackMan doesn't swing the bat for me, but is able to show me the exact launch angle, the exact exit velo, the direction, and the flight path. Before TrackMan, I would have said, yeah, that felt good, but I wouldn't exactly know why it felt good. Now I'm able to see, and when something's off, like my attack angle or I'm dipping, I can fix it right away instead of waiting until I'm in a slump. During the bad weather days here at A&M, there are many times when we will actually play a full game off the machine in the cages using the HitTrax. HitTrax has a cool setting in it that will actually simulate a game for you. For example, you take a swing, it was a ball, you fouled it off, it would then move the count on the screen to an 0-1 count. The next pitch, you hit a ball in the gap for a double, it will show a runner running to second base, and you will know there's a runner on second base. With all this that it does, it simulates an exact game without being on the field, without being outside in the cold. This helps us during practice to get actual competitive work in. On many days where the weather outside is forcing us to be inside. This slide is super special because it shows consistency. On the lower left, you'll see a game photo of me hitting at Texas A&M, and on the bottom right, you will see a game photo of me hitting at Texas A&M. While both pictures look identical, they're not. They're played 2 different games, 2 different days, 2 different pitchers. But what you see is the swing looks basically identical. This is something that every hitter wants when they're training. TrackMan has helped me repeat that same exact position over and over and over again in the cages so that eventually when I'm in the game, it will show up in the game as well. When your swing is consistent, your results are consistent. Here's a video that's playing of showing me taking swings with TrackMan in the background, crunching data each swing and each pitch. At the end of my session, I typically go over there and look at all the data. Even though AI is incredibly powerful, baseball is still a human game. Technology can measure the mechanics, but it can't measure things like confidence, the mindset, pitch recognition, or just the ability to compete under pressure. TrackMan gives you the information, but you still have to apply it. You have to understand what the numbers mean and how to make adjustments. You have to train your body to repeat the swing that produces the best numbers. The human element also matters because not every player responds to the same cues. One player might use a launch angle number to adjust their swing path, while another might focus on the exit velocity. Coaches still have to interpret that data and communicate it in a way that makes sense to the athletes. I don't think the numbers alone make someone successful. They help break things down. But baseball will always require instincts, feel, and experience. AI supports the player, but it doesn't replace the player. So, the best results come when AI and human judgment work together, not one replacing the other. This slide shows how AI isn't just in college baseball. It's everywhere, especially in MLB. I know that at the professional level, they use a system called Hawkeye, which is very similar to HitTrax, except it gives you more data than we will see in HitTrax. On the left, you will see MLB broadcast graphic showing spin rate on a single pitch. Spin rate is calculated using the same type of AI and radar technology with TrackMan. It's the amount of rotations per minute. AI is literally analyzing the pitch in real time, how fast it's spinning, what direction, how much it moves, and predicting what the pitch will do. Pitchers in the MLB will make adjustments based off these numbers. In game, if the slider isn't spinning enough, they fix their grip. If they want more ride to the heater, they'll adjust the finger pressure. So AI is shaping the game at the highest level. But on the right side, you'll see something that AI can't measure, which is the culture. That's our team after winning the Super Regionals in 2024 and proceeding to move on to the College World Series, placing second place, losing to Tennessee. Yes, AI helps us get better as athletes, but it does not replace the parts of baseball that matter the most, which are the friendships, the bonds, the brotherhood, the team chemistry, and the pride, and most importantly, the hard work that you put in for your season. AI is just a tool. Culture is what makes the game special. Some summaries and takeaways. Over the last decade, baseball's culture has changed dramatically because of the use of AI and data-driven technology. For a long time, baseball was a sport built on tradition and intuition. Coaches relied on the experience, players relied on the feel, and many decisions were based on what people saw rather than measurable evidence. But as technology like TrackMan, Rapsodo, HitTrax, and StatCast became more common, the mindset around training and player development started to shift. Players now expect to see data after their swing. Coaches expect to use analytics to break down the mechanics. We have several guys that are in the cages with us every single day with iPads and different numbers, reading every single swing that we do and giving instant feedback on what we need to change and what we need to do right. For the entire programs, especially at the college or professional levels, they've built the development plans around understanding and applying these metrics. The culture shift also reflects the younger generation of athletes. Today's players grew up around technology, so using AI-driven tools feels natural. Instead of getting defensive about how that was a bad swing and the mechanics showed that it was bad, players now more open to hearing data-based feedback because it feels objective and trustworthy. At the same time, this shift affects how teams communicate. Coaches now need to understand analytics, not just traditional cues, or at least have someone that does understand them. They have to translate data into simple, usable information for players. That changed the coaches-players relationship and the way practices are designed. There's also a broader impact on baseball as a whole. Fans, scouts, broadcasters, and even youth organizations now use data terms like launch angle, exit velocity, and spin rate in everyday conversations. 10 years ago, most people have never heard these phrases, but today they're part of the baseball vocabulary. This intersects between technology, culture, and sports itself, shows how AI doesn't just change what players do, it changes how the entire baseball community thinks, talks, and evaluates performance. For players like me who use TrackMan daily, this culture shift feels normal, but for the sport of baseball, it represents a major transformation in how we develop athletes and understand the game. Here are some reflection questions to help you think. What does TrackMan track? TrackMan tracks a lot of different things. The ones that I mainly like to use and pay attention to are the launch angle, the exit velocity, and the distance. Question 2 is, how does AI improve player development? For me, it gives me the instant feedback that I'm looking for in every swing. I tend to be a head case, so I'm always looking for an answer on what's wrong. So with the HitTrax, it's able to tell me exactly what's wrong instantly. And why is the human element still important? Unfortunately, TrackMan isn't able to tell me why I swung at a slide in the dirt, but coaches can. And until a TrackMan can hit a baseball, I think the players will still always be in charge. These are all the APA references I used to create this RLO. Thanks for listening and learning how AI has shaped my development as a baseball player. Thank you.